Good day, and welcome to the Impact Investing Show. I hope you're doing well today. Today is day 17 for those who have been rocking with us over this journey of the 21 days of your property investing success. Like it says at the bottom, don't forget to leave a comment and say hi. Guys, if you are tuning in for the first time to the Impact Investing Show, why don't you let us know by writing the word new in the live chat? And those of you who are back again, let us know that you are back again by simply writing in the comments, ready to go. I hope you're ready to go, because I know I'm ready to go. Tonight is going to be an awesome show. Day 17. Guys, we are just trekking through. Before you know it, we're going to be in the 2 zeros. And we're only going to have day 20, day 21, and it's all done. So, guys, I hope you're actually really ready to go. I'm looking forward to tonight's show. We've got so much to cover. We're going to be talking about our disclaimer real quickly. Straight after the disclaimer, we're going to have the summary, the recap of all of the previous days, all the way up to day 16, which was yesterday, which was actually phenomenal. But one of the things that happened yesterday is I felt like we spent so much time talking about the recap, we didn't get to spend a lot of time the way I really wanted to actually speak about the main content. We did speak about the main content yesterday. Those of you who are in the chat, in the comments, let me know if we spoke about the main content yesterday. I believe we did speak about the main content, but we could have gone deeper. But we're going to hopefully do that tonight. We're going to cut the recap short and get the content long. Hopefully that's going to help you. Side by side with that, we're going to be talking about a few different things. We're going to be talking about the recommended book as a result of tonight's stream. Day 17 comes with its own recommended book for day 16 and day 17. And side by side with that, we're going to cover tonight's content. Guys, I hope you are ready to go. Now, before we even jump in, let me start by saying a great big appreciation to every single person who has hit comment in any way, hit subscribe in any way, hit like in any way. Guys, you guys are helping this channel grow, and it's all down to you. So I just want to say a great big appreciation. We thank you, and we are appreciative of what you're doing. And guys, listen, if you haven't hit subscribe already and you want to be a part of our channel, whether you hit subscribe and press the bell notification, whether you hit subscribe and don't press the bell notification, or if you're one of that small select group of my G.I. Joe guys who hit subscribe, press the bell, and tell the bell to give them every single notification, guys, welcome to the show. I'm looking forward to seeing you on our journey. So whether you hit subscribe anyhow, shape or form, I want to see you along on the journey with us. Now, for those of you who've hit like already, I appreciate you. Those of you that just jump on and know this is going to be fire, you know what? I'm hitting like straight away. I appreciate you. For those of you who haven't hit like already, if at any point during tonight's show, if at any point during the time you're watching, you get some value and you feel like, you know what, that was of value, I should have paid for that, I could have paid for that, I'd like you to pay for it by hitting the like button. Side by side with all of that, guys, we spoke about subscribing, we spoke about hitting like, but you know the reality, I just want to create a community. So if you're interested in being a part of our community, all you've got to do is drop a comment in the chat. Say hi to somebody. All right. And guys, if you see some new people in the chat, say hi to the new people in the chat. Let them know that we are a friendly community over here at the Impact Show. Now, tonight, like I mentioned, is day 17. Some people have been rocking with us for a number of days. I see KTR in the chat who says hi. KTR is one of those people. She's been rocking with us for a number of days. I got Ellie in the chat. Ellie has been rocking with us for a number of days. Guys, if you are one of those people who are tuned in and watching right now, you've been rocking with us for a number of days on this 21-day journey, all you've got to do in the comments, like I see Ellie's already done, is write ready to go. Let people know that you're ready to go. Let people know that you've got so much content and value over the last few days that you're definitely ready to go now. All right. Now, I got Daniel Okori in the chat. Great to see you on the stream, sir. Great to see that you've come to join us. Let us know if this is the first time you've ever tuned in to one of our shows. If it is, all you have to write is the word new in the comments and we will know that you are new. And the guys in the chat will actually greet you as well. They'll say hi and a good big shout out to you. Now, Ellie Ballroom says, how's it, Samuel? And all is good for me. I hope it's good for you. Hope you're doing well. And KTR in the chat says, hi, back to you, KTR. We've got Mrs. I Can Win admin in the chat also saying good evening all. Thank you, Mrs. I Can Win, for joining us. Now, guys, listen, are you ready for the value tonight? We're talking about the last piece of the sourcing blueprint. The sourcing blueprint is something that I created a number of years ago in order to help people understand how to find, how to secure, and how to sell great property deals. Not good property deals, not average property deals, not mediocre property deals, but great property deals. Now, One of the things I found a number of years ago is there were so many people out there who were looking for property deals, so many people who wanted HMO, so many people who wanted short leases, so many people who wanted all of the different kinds of strategies that you can apply, but they just didn't know how to find those deals. So what I did is I created an infographic. My background is in education, for those of you who know, and I know in the education world, if you want to convey a message simply, you create an infographic. And that's what I did. I created an infographic, a simple infographic, an image, a picture, which showed people the 4 key things they needed to focus on in order to successfully obtain and acquire great property deals. And those 4 things, okay, those 4 things were very, very simple things. All they were marketing. Okay, you need to be successful at marketing. Then you have to be successful at managing. Okay, managing relationships. And if you're successful at managing the relationships that you've marketed to, the next thing is you have to be successful at measuring. Because if you can't work out if a deal is a deal, then you will end up with a mediocre or an average deal, when you really should be ending up with a awesome deal, or a great deal, or a fantastic deal, or a generational life-changing deal. So that's where we went into next. Straight after that, the next thing we went into from talking about measuring is maturing. And that is the 4th M, the 4M formula, which is what we call it in the team in the back. But when we speak to the world, we call it the sourcing blueprint. So the 4th M of the 4M formula of the sourcing blueprint is maturing. And guys, let me assure you of something. If you cannot mature a deal, there was no point in having the deal in the first place. Let me say that one more time. For those of you who've got your notebooks, your iPads, your notepads, you got your journals, you're ready to go. You said ready to go. Ellie said in the chat, ready to go. So I'm assuming you guys who are back with us again are ready to go. Are you ready to take the notes? Because that's the first note you need to write down. There is no point having a great deal if you cannot mature that great deal. Let me tell you something. That's the reality. What's the point of having a deal that you are going to do all of this marketing in order for the deal to come your way? You're going to do all this relationship engaging and managing for it to come your way. You're even going to stack up the numbers and make sure that it makes sense. Oh yeah, this is a fantastic, great deal. But then you can't mature the deal. You can't get it over the line. You can't turn it from concept to currency. You can't turn it from conversation to cash in the bank. Someone let me know if what I'm saying is making sense. All right? Because the value in this, Mr. Daniel Okori says he is new. Guys, can you please greet the newcomer in the chat, please? Okay? Make Mr. Daniel Okori feel welcome. Guys, let me say this. If you can't mature a deal, there's no point in having a deal. There are so many people I've seen who want to start their property journey. They go on a property course. After they spend £3,000-4,000 on these property courses, they go out there saying, I'm a property investor. I'm going to find some deals. I'm going to make some money. And they go out there and they just start entertaining the marketplace. Let me say that one more time for you to understand what I'm talking about. They go out there and they just end up entertaining the marketplace. What do I mean by entertaining the marketplace? They're phoning estate agents just to have banterous conversations. They are speaking to landlords and to sellers just to have interesting conversations. But the reality is, where are they actually taking this to? Where are they actually taking this to? What are they actually doing? They're doing nothing. Why? Because they don't know how to mature a deal. Guys, let me see something. Yeah? Let me say something. Excuse me. I'm saying let me see something because I just saw something. Let me say something to you guys. All right? You need to understand that if you're not maturing the deal, there's no point having the deal. So tonight we're going to talk about one concept. I'm going to give you one concept and then a whole bunch of value around how you can make sure you start maturing deals. Look at this. I'm getting messages again on my phone. Wow. I don't even, guys. No. Okay. To the person who just sent me a message on my phone, my answer is no. Okay? Guys, sometimes you got to learn to say no. There are so many people who want the value. Let me tell you this, guys. You guys want the value, right? Tell me you want the value. Let me see that. Let me see if you want the value. I want to see comments saying I want the value. If you guys came on here tonight for the value, let me see the comment in the chat. I want the value. Okay? Because the moment I start seeing the comment in the chat, I want the value, then I'm going to know the fact I just said no to somebody was worth it. All right. Now, let us jump in. Okay. First and foremost, let me say this. I've already shared my appreciation. I just want to say a great big warm welcome to everyone who's new. Okay. I see your comment, KTR. She's always quick to the chase. I love it. Guys, listen, to everyone who's brand new, okay, this is both Daniel Okori and anyone else who's watching. Maybe you haven't commented yet. Guys, I just want to let you know we appreciate you showing up. And because we appreciate you showing up, that's why we go out of our way to give you massive value on this show. This is day 17 of the 21 days of your property investing journey. So if you haven't been with us from day one, all of the links are in the description. Okay, at the end of this live stream, this is live. So in my opinion, this is where you want to be. You want to be in the live environment because you can ask me questions directly. I can give you answers directly, etc. So this is the live environment. This is the place to be. Okay, a coach told me when I was 19 years old, he said, wherever you are, be there. That means if I'm here, I'm here. This is why I always tell people when I'm live, guys, stop messaging my phone. Because this is what happens. I get live and people are watching, but they're messaging my phone. Guys, stop messaging my phone. Okay? Message on YouTube. Because this is where I'm at. All right? So my phone is now on silent. Because wherever you are, you need to be there. And the same applies to you guys who are tuning in. This is day 17. Let's be in day 17. But the moment day 17's ended, if you haven't watched day 1, day 2, day 3, etc., then I just want to say to you, go back and watch those videos. Those videos are life-changing, okay? Let me say this. For those of you who've been rocking with us for a few days, if it's life-changing, those videos we've had, just put LC in the chat. LC, life-changing, life-changing, life-changing. LC in the chat. And let those people know who are new that what we've been sharing here has been potentially life-changing for you and could be life-changing for them, all right? So if this has been life-changing in any way, shape, or form, I just want to see a few people write the word or the letters LC in the chat. L for life, C for changing. Now, I can see today the chat is popping off. I'm going to say for the last time, okay? For the last time, I'm going to say this, and then we're going to jump forward. Actually, let me leave it. Let me just jump into the value because I want to just help you guys tonight. I want tonight to be one of those nights where you guys say, you know what? If I wasn't there, I would have known I missed it. All right, guys. So you guys have said already in the comments, this is just popping off. The comments are popping off today, guys. I am impressed. Well done. Let's have a quick look. If you haven't hit like, guys, hit that like button side by side. If you're not subscribed, be subscribed and hit that bell notification. Say you want it all. Okay. All right. So I've got this here. KTR says, I want the value. Ellie Ballroom says, I want the value. Okay. So I can see these comments coming in saying, I want the value. All right. And thank you guys, everybody who's trying to make Mr. Daniel Okori welcome. I love it. All right, now look, I see the LC, life-changing, life-changing, life-changing. So those of you who've been with us, KTR, Ellie Ballroom, you're putting LC in the chat. That means this has been life-changing. So those of you who are new, who are watching this, that means when you finish on this live stream, make sure you go back and watch from day one. Go get all of that content, all of that value I shared yesterday and the day before that. If that stuff comes off the internet, if we pull it off of YouTube, I don't want to hear people saying, oh, Samuel, I wanted to watch the day one video. I never got round to it. If you never got round to it, that's your fault. That's not my fault. Go get the value. All right, let's jump into the recap so we can jump into tonight's value. I want to be quick with the recap so I can be long with the value. And you guys said you want the value, you want the value, you want the value. So I'm going to give you the value. Listen, guys, let me tell you something. I just got a message on my phone and they're asking me to keep the stream to 1 hour. Should I have said yes to that? You tell me. You tell me. Because, guys, look, what I want you to understand is this show is not about me. This show is not about me. This show is not for me. This show is for you guys. This show is to change your life. This show is to equip you. So you need to let me know, okay? You need to let me know, guys, okay? Whether or not, when someone messaged me and says, oh, can you keep the stream to 1 hour, if I should keep the stream to 1 hour. Okay, because I believe what Osei Kimwin is saying, that value is wanted. And if value is wanted, then I agree with KTR. We can't keep the stream to 1 hour if there's more value. It doesn't matter whether you've got internet issues. You got to go watch the replay. All right, because we've got to do what we've got to do. So let's jump in. Guys, do I sound like the bad guy today? I'm not trying to sound like the bad guy. I'm just trying to give my people value. You know what it is. All right, so let's jump in. Day one, we started on the 1st of January. Let me remove the chat for a little bit so you guys can see me as I get into it. Because you know when I start going into the recap, that's when I start getting into it. So let's do this. Day one, we spoke about knowing what you want. We basically broke down on day one that you have to know what you want in order to achieve any level of property investing success. Let me tell you this, Mr. Daniel Corey, you're tuning in today. You said you're new. There's, I'm sure, other new people as well who maybe haven't identified themselves yet. But let me say something. If you know what you want in your property investing journey, it's easier to obtain it. Okay, and that's the same for all of us. Those of you who've been with us for a number of days, you know this already because I've said this, I've hammered this point down to you. But I want to share it with those people who are new, who are tuning in. I want you to understand, knowing what you want is crucial, is vital, is essential, is necessary in order for you to achieve property investing success. One of the biggest dilemmas for most people in their property investing journey is they do not actually know what they want. They want to make money. Let me put it that way. They want to have more cash. Let me put it that way. They wish they were a property investor. Let me put it that way. You see, those ambiguous slogans and terms and gimmicks, they are not knowing what you want. Knowing what you want, if you went to the video that I actually put in the description of the day one video as your recommended homework in the comments, in the description of the day one video, I put a video recommendation and I said, guys, this is your homework. Okay, hashtag homework. Those of you who've come from an education background, those of you who are in the world of education, or those of you who just know as an entrepreneur you need to be developing yourself daily, hashtag homework. Let me explain something to you. On day one, the homework I gave you would help you to understand that knowing what you want is crucial to your success. And that's the biggest issue for so many people. They don't even know what they want. Check this out. How do you go on a course, a property investing course, and you don't know what you want? You're going to tell me, oh, well, you know, when you go on the course that you don't know the content they're going to teach. Let me tell you something. If you go with an intention to learn about a specific strategy, it does not matter if that trainer was going to teach about another strategy. You can still pull out all of the gems about the strategy you're interested in. And look, I can show you evidence of this again and again and again. Just go watch our Saturday live show. Every week, Saturday, 6 p.m., we show up live on the Impact Show. And we have been doing so for a number of months. Yesterday was episode 40. Now, you know the thing that's powerful? I remember the first few episodes of the Strategy in the Storm, the first few episodes of the live show, they all ended up being about rent to rent. I don't want to talk about rent to rent, but they all ended up being about rent to rent. Why? I never came with the intention to talk about rent to rent, but why did we keep talking about rent to rent? Because the audience demanded it. The audience demanded it. Most of the people that were coming on the Strategy in the Storm at early months of last year, when the pandemic hit, when the lockdown hit, when all of those things hit, they wanted to have answers. The people that were looking for solutions were people who were going through rent to rent for the majority of them. So if you listen to the majority of our early shows, if you're interested in rent to rent, they're going to be some great shows to listen to. You're going to see a lot of those shows last year in March were around rent to rent, how to strategize through rent to rent problems in the lockdown, in the pandemic, etc. Now, was that because I had scheduled and planned to speak about rent to rent? No, it's because that's what the audience demanded. And the same applies here right now. What you guys demand is what you guys will get. And this is why it's so crucial to know what you want in your property investing journey. I'm going to say that again. That's some good notes to write down. What you desire, what you want, what you demand is what you will get. Okay, you see, most people demand mediocrity. You know why? Because everywhere they've gone in their life, people are mediocre and not happy to be. So as a result, they build up the skill set, they build up the talent, they build up the education of being able to only look for mediocre and thus only living a life of mediocrity. Let that not be you from today, please. From day 17 of your property investing, 21 days with Samuel I Can Win and Kimwin, please let that no longer be you. Let you be the person who radically changes your ambition, your intellect, your way of seeing things, and says to yourself, you know what, no more mediocrity for me. From now on, I will know what I want. That's what we covered on day one. Day two, we jumped into a skill that I learned when I went into the educational field, a name for this skill. And that skill in the world of education is called metacognition. I told you guys it has a long name, but it has a short definition. The skill of metacognition is simply thinking about your thinking. And you've got to ask yourself sometimes, do I actually think about how I think? So many people don't think about how they think. Let me tell you something. You see the way I think I'm going to win every time. I think I'm going to win every time, anytime. You know why? Because I've been thinking about my thinking for about 12 years now consistently, and I've got to a place where I know how to think about my thinking to a degree that I can shift my thinking into the way I want to think. And you know how I want to think? I want to think like a winner, so I'm going to win. And I want to help you do the same. That's why we're doing this 21 days of your property investing success. Let me say this, guys. If you're getting value already and you haven't written value, you haven't hit the like button, you haven't shared the video, do one of those. Like I shared with you guys yesterday, you've got to engage in order to take away what's for you. So, day 3, we had the bombshell dropped. We started to speak about vision. I shared with you guys a verse out of the Bible, Proverbs chapter 29, verse 18. It reads, without a vision, the people perish. We spoke about how if you do not have a vision for your property investing success, let me take it back a moment. You know what? On day 1, it's all fair and well to know what you want. But if you do not convert that and articulate that into a property investing vision, a vision for your property investing success, then your property investing success is doomed to perish. Just like the principle says in the book of Proverbs, Proverbs 29 verse 18. The principle says, without a vision, the people perish. If you do not have a vision for your property investing success, why are you trying to invest in property? It's a waste of time. You need to have a vision for your property investing success. And we spoke about that on day 3, and it was a deep dive. On day 4, we started to speak about faith and fear. I spoke to you guys about the equilibrium that exists in between faith and fear. I spoke to you guys about the scales that basically help faith and fear to be managed in a person's life. I spoke to you guys on day 4 about the fact that so many people have property opportunities right in front of them, next door to them, down the street from them, with their work colleague, with their friend, with their family member, but they walk away from the opportunity. Why did they walk away from the opportunity? I spoke to you guys. It's because of fear. It's because of fear, because they haven't got to a place in their life where they've learned how to manage the difference between faith and fear in their life. So when fear is knocking at the door telling them they can't do it, they say okay and walk away. Let that not be you, guys. From day 17, let that not be you, please. Be the person who stands boldly with faith in the sight of an opportunity and says, this might just be the one that could change my life. This might just be the one. If I've done the numbers and I understand that this makes sense, you know what? This just might be the one. You see, I remember hearing this from Jim Rohn years ago. Jim Rohn used to say so many people, when they're faced with a challenge, ask the question, why? 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 And he said you should ask a different question sometimes. Instead of asking the question why, you should ask the question why not? Why not? You see, there's people out there who look at other people and say, why has Samuel been able to get that success? Why has Samuel got all the things he's looking for? Why have those people got it? Why have those people got it? You see, those people, they're the glass half empty kind of people. But you see, the glass half full kind of people, it's the same glass. It's got the same amount of juice inside. It's got the same amount of tea inside. It's the same cup. But you see, the other people don't ask the question why about you. They ask why not about me. Why am I not more successful? Why am I not crushing it? Why am I not teaching people my 15, 16, 21, 34 principles for them to have a 2021 with success? Why not? Don't ask why, ask why not. Why am I not the person who's sitting in the car I want to be sitting in? Who's driving into the driveway I want to be driving? Don't ask why them, ask why not you. Because you can do it too. And I can assure you of that. I can 100% assure you of that. There is no, let me tell you something, there is no barrier too big to stop you, a human being, from having the success that you desire. There is no barrier big enough. The problem is, do you have the skills? The issue is, do you know what you're doing? The next thing is, are you actually doing it the right way? I remember being given a formula. I'll give you this formula right now, guys. Hope you got your pens and papers ready to go. When a maths formula, science formula comes to you, you need to write it down. The formula is MA. Okay, MA multiplied by RS multiplied by C equals R. That is the formula right there, guys. Hope you wrote that down. Stels in the comments says, that's right, success is there for you if you really want it. Listen, success is all around, guys. That's the formula, guys. MA times RS times C equals R. Let's see if we got any closers on the show tonight. So that was day 4. On day 4, we spoke about faith and fear and how it's so important. And then we shifted into day 5. We got FP Comms in the comments. Great to see you tonight, Nicola, as well. Okay, so day 5, we jumped into personal development. Okay, and I started to break down to you guys that personal development is your fastest vehicle to the success you desire to achieve. Personal development is your fastest vehicle to the success you desire to achieve. Let's start breaking that down. What does that mean? Okay, if you want to be chauffeur driven, personal development is the fastest way you get to that chauffeur driven position. If you have a property investing success vision, like we spoke about from day 3, personal development is your fastest vehicle. It's your fastest route to get to that success. You see, this is something we have to start to understand. Personal development is your fastest vehicle to the success you desire. Now, I know why people who've been rocking with us for a few days are not commenting right now. The reason they're not commenting is because I told them anytime I make that statement, they need to be doing something. So I'm hoping they're doing what I've asked them to do. And as a result, they are not commenting right now. But in a minute, I'm expecting some comments. Okay? For a specific reason. Because I've already alluded to it. Let's see if we got any closers on the show tonight. So we spoke about personal development day 5. Day 6, we spoke about my good friend, one of my twins, Momentum. We spoke about momentum. KTR, I love it. Always with the quick fingers. I appreciate that. We got closers, guys. We got closers. Okay. I'll come back to it. So day 6, we spoke about my good friend Momentum. And what I said to you is if you have all of the building blocks in place for your property investing success, the only thing you need to do now is turn up the volume. That's what momentum is all about. Momentum is your ability to turn up the volume. Your ability to say, you know what, this is a good tune. All I need to do is turn it up. And you know what happens when you turn up a good tune? The whole community gets involved. You see, that's the problem for so many people trying to achieve a certain level of success. They're trying to do it on their own. And this is what it connects with what we spoke about yesterday night. Yesterday, we spoke about having a team for success to help you close deals. We said one of the biggest issues for people maturing deals is they don't have the right team in place. They don't have a team around them. And I showed you guys the Team 10 resource that I created to help people understand who are the key players you need to have that success. But coming back to this ideology, you need to understand that momentum, turning up the volume, letting more people know, speaking to everyone you know is really a key when you've got their foundations in place. So when you know what you want, when you start to think about your thinking, utilizing the skill of metacognition, when you tap into that next level of having a property investing success vision, and then you say to yourself, you know what, I've got this. And yes, sometimes I deal with fear, but I'm going to overcome that with faith. And then you shift into gear 5 and say, I'm going to use personal development as my hack, as my fastest route to my success. The only thing you now need to do is turn up the volume, add in the momentum. And that's what we started to talk about when we went back. Look at this. Ellie Ballroom says in the chat, here, you can't do it on your own, add value. We're going to come back to that. KTR says, what is the formula standing for, please? Guys, this is why I had to ask, do we have closers here? Do we even have closers here? I gave you a formula. I didn't even tell you what the definition was. You see, that's what used to happen when I used to teach in schools. Okay? When I used to teach in schools, those kind of things will happen all the time. Let me even tell you something. That's happened to all of us. We've all gone into this world, been given formulas, and no one's defined it for us. No one's actually told us what it means. I did that on purpose, purposely gave you a formula and left you guys hanging and moved on. And I alluded to it. Let's see if we've got any closers here. Let's see if anyone's going to actually try and close me and say, hey, Samuel, hey. You can't give half a carton of value. What does it mean? So let me tell you the formula to success. MA stands for massive action. Are you taking massive action? 9 times out of 10, people just aren't taking massive action. You see, a massive action is essential when we talk about momentum, as we spoke about, which came on day 6. Massive action and momentum are like good friends, because massive action is the byproduct of you building momentum. RS stands for the right stuff. You see, some people just aren't doing the right stuff. They're not doing the right things. You need to be marketing, and instead of marketing, you know what you're doing? You're sitting at home saying one day a deal's going to come to me. You know what you're doing? You're scouring Rightmove because your property coach told you Rightmove is the answer, thinking one day I'll find a deal on Rightmove. Listen, let me tell you something. Statistically, do you know how many people are looking on Rightmove for the same opportunities you're looking for in the same areas you're looking? I'll just leave it there. And I'm not saying you can't find a deal on Rightmove. Rightmove is one of the largest portals. You got Zoopla, you got Prime Location, you got all of those sites. They're some of the largest portals. I'm not saying you can't find a deal there, but I want you to understand that you are not giving yourself a competitive advantage. Every single thing I teach is about giving you a competitive advantage. This is why we tell you Impact Properties, our YouTube channel, is where you get creative property investing on demand. Because creative property investing is about giving yourself an advantage. Giving yourself an unfair advantage. Unfair in the sense that most people aren't doing what you're doing. So KTR pulled me up. What's the formula stand for? We got massive action, MA, right stuff, RS, times consistency equals R, which stands for results. If you understand whatever industry it is you're in, we're talking specifically tonight about property, you understand the property industry, the strategy you're trying to do, and you start doing massive action, multiply that by the right stuff, not just any stuff, the right stuff, and then you times that by consistency, that's when you start getting results, the results you've been waiting for, the results you've been wishing for, the results you've been saying you want. Okay? Guys, let's keep pushing with this. So we jumped in on day 6 and started speaking about momentum. And then what I said to you, I said on day 7, I'm going to seal your foundation. On day 7, I'm going to give you the principle that creates the whole solidification of the whole foundation I gave you on the first 6 days. And on day 7, we spoke about commitment. I said, you know what, if you ramp up the right stuff, if you've got all of this foundation I shared with you and showed you, if you've got the understanding of what you're trying to achieve, if you know what you're trying to do, if you know what you're trying to get, if you know what you want, if you know how to think about it the right way, if you know how to shift into a space where you've got a vision where it's clearly articulated what you're trying to achieve, if you can then manage the faith and the fear which comes to every single one of us when we deal with an opportunity or an opposition, and then you can shift to a place where you start to utilize personal development to hack every single barrier that comes in your way. And then you sprinkle the element of momentum on top of all 5 of those. The only thing you need after that is commitment. I will until I see. I'm going to keep doing this until the results happen. And let me tell you something. Results come faster for the committed. That's a great note to write down. That's like yesterday. That's one of those comments that you go on Twitter and you write, results come faster to the committed, hashtag Samuel I can win. Guys, that's something you need to share. You need to share that on Facebook. You need to share that on Instagram. You need to share that on TikTok. You need to share that wherever you're at. Results come faster to the committed. Guys, we need to understand this because this is the reality. This is the situation for you. The things you are committed to are the areas where you see results fastest. I'm gonna say that again because that's the reality. The things you are committed to are the things you see results in the fastest. But you see, there's a whole lot of people that are half committed to things they say are extremely important, but yet they complain when they don't see results. Let me tell you something. All right, and this is not a plug. This is just helping you guys understand what I'm talking about. Okay, we get people jumping on. Okay, we get people jumping on the live show. We get people jumping on the 21 days of your property investing success. Let me tell you something. I can tell when someone's committed to the change they're getting from the content I give them, from the coaching I'm giving them, from the experience and engagement, from the training, from anything I'm giving them. Okay, because that commitment, it actually manifests itself in certain ways. Today, something came through Amazon, again, from the wish list. This is one of the notebooks that was on the wish list. Why is this coming? It's coming because somebody got committed. Somebody said, you know what? These guys are doing their purpose-built content creation studio. I want to be a part of that. Bang, I'm hitting the button. I'm buying something. The other day, I mentioned it yesterday. Yesterday, we put in the description for the first time a link for people to donate to the content creation studio. We had someone hit the button and donate. How? Like, I was baffled. Like, people actually want to donate. But today, I'm thinking about it and I start to realize why. You know why? Because they're committed, so they're seeing results. You see, when you get committed to something, that's where you're going to see results. You will see results in the area, in the spaces where you are most committed. You see, let me even say this. This is why KTR 2 days ago on day 15 was sharing about all the different amounts of money she's paid on training. Why? Because she's committed to succeed in this property space. You don't go and spend £2,000, £2,000, 1,500 and £6,000, etc., for an idea. You spend that kind of money on commitment. You spend that kind of money on commitment. And like I broke down on day 15, when KTR shared that, the same thing I broke down on that day, I'm going to break down again today for you guys. You have to understand that even though you're spending that money, even though you're investing in your training, investing in your development and all of those things, sometimes the answers you're looking for don't come from those portals. The answer could come anywhere. The answer could come right here in the 21 days of your property investing success that you've decided to participate in for free. The answer could come right here, even though you've spent X amount here, there, and everywhere else. And I want you to understand that, okay? Because what is actually giving you the result is your commitment. And that's why we covered that on day 7. It is the solidification of your foundation, commitment. You need to write that down in your notes. So commitment is the solidification of my foundation, okay? So when you get committed, expect results. You know why? Because you're committed to making it happen. Then we said day 8 onwards, we were going to get practical. And boy, I believe we got practical. On day 8, we started to speak about mindset. Day 8 and day 9, we started doubling up the days. Day 8 and day 9, we spoke about mindset. On day 8, we spoke about protecting your mindset. If you are going into property investing, you need to be able to protect your mindset from your work colleagues. You need to be able to protect your mindset sometimes from your family members. You need to be able to protect your mindset from the strangers that want to rearrange your brain cells and make you mediocre all over again, like we spoke about earlier on the show. You need to ensure that you know how to protect your mindset. That's why we covered that on day 8. On day 9, we started to speak about how to prepare your mindset, how to put your mindset in the right frame of mind in order for you to win every time. So we shifted from protecting to preparing, protecting to preparing. Then we shifted into day 10. On day 10, we started to speak about one of my most favorite topics. That's the topic of marketing. Okay, we started to break down how marketing is essential for you to tell people who are strangers that they need to connect with you. We started to speak about how on day 10 and day 11, as we covered marketing, how marketing is the key to your success in property investing. If people do not know that you are interested in finding great property deals, they will not tell you about great property deals. You know, there are times where people reach out to me about things in property and I just say to myself, like, why did this person message me? And then I realize, well, hold on a minute. I don't think this person knows anyone else who speaks so much about property than me. So even though what they're interested in or what they're asking me about is not necessarily specifically what I do or not necessarily specifically how I can help them, I see why they're coming in my direction. Guys, imagine if you lived a life like that. Imagine if you spoke so much about property investing or your property investing success. Let's put it this way. Let's say your success strategy, okay, when you started to articulate your vision on day 3. Let's say your success strategy was service accommodation, just as an example. So you're going to take flats, you're going to take homes, okay, some that you own, maybe most that you do not own on a rent to service accommodation basis, okay? And if you don't know what rent to service accommodation is, that is just one of the 30 property strategies that I break down in this resource, 30 ways in 30 days, which I created, which says multiple ways to generate revenue using property. Rent to service accommodation. So now let's say you have articulated your vision, and in your vision, in your property investing success vision, you're going to be an entrepreneur who generates masses of amounts of cash flow each month by using the strategy of service accommodation, with a majority of properties that you don't even own, and then a myriad of properties that you do own. So let's say you're using 2 properties you own, and you've got maybe 10 properties you don't own. Okay, rent to service accommodation. Now let's say you now start marketing like I've advocated on day 10 and day 11. You start marketing, you start telling people, this is what I do, this is what I've been doing, this is what I'm interested in. Now, because you're conveying, marketing, sharing messaging about exactly what you're doing in property, how would you like to live a life where people come to you and say to you, hey, KTR, I've got this block of flats I want to sell. Do you know anyone who might buy it? Are you interested in it? You know, or someone coming to you, hey, Ellie Ballroom, you know what? I've got 12 people who need somewhere to stay for a whole month. Do you know anyone who has sufficient rooms or capacity or space? Like, the point I'm trying to make is, when you get committed to marketing, you will end up even having people who do not necessarily really know what you do. Okay, because that's one of the issues with marketing. You have to be laser focused. You have to be laser focused in order to be able to convey your messaging so accurately that in a short period of time, people understand exactly what you do. And the collateral damage, or should I say the collateral blessing of that, is people come to you a lot of the time who don't necessarily know exactly what you do, but they know the space you're in, so they want to talk to you about the space. Okay? A big shout out to Nicola, who's actually in the comments from FP Comms, because she has a PR, okay, organization, a PR company that supports people with training on how they can actually engage and use public relations to build their company. So again, those of you who are in the comments, this is why I always say to you, speak, comment to the other people. You never know who's in the actual comments. You never know who's actually in the live chat, who you could connect with. If you want to develop in the area of marketing, specifically in the unique position of public relations, then Nicola's one of the go-to people you need to go and connect with. Okay? And her company is called FP Comms. Go connect. So guys, why am I saying this to you? I'm saying this because I want you to understand that it is the marketing, the successful marketing, the successful storytelling, the successful picture conveying, the successful articulation of your day 3 vision of your property investing success that people now gravitate towards. That people now say, you know what, I know another guy who's doing property and I know you're doing property, so I want to connect the two of you. Guys, let me say this. I have probably received more connections in the property space from other people who have seen some kind of marketing I've put out there than anything else. And you've got, and listen, when I say this, I don't say this lightly, but what you've got to understand about me when I say this is this. I used to host a networking event, one of the largest networking events in the UK for property investors. So I hope you understand what I'm talking about. I'm saying to you, I used to host an event where over 100 people will come on a monthly basis, but I'm still telling you, I have met more people in property because someone has seen my marketing and connected me with someone than the hundreds of people that have come on a month-to-month basis through means of my networking meeting. Hope you understand what I'm talking about, guys. The point I'm trying to make to you guys, for you to understand exactly where I'm coming from, is successful marketing is a game changer for you. Successful marketing is where people start saying, hold on a minute. Of course I have to go and speak to my neighbor. I'm thinking of selling my house, but why would I go and speak to an estate agent first? My neighbor's an investor in property. My neighbor knows lots about property. My neighbor's on a property course. My neighbor's been following this guy on the 21 days of your property investing success. My neighbor's got a coach, a property coach. My neighbor just bought their second house. Come on, guys. I hope you understand what I'm talking about. It's not always rocket science. It's not always, oh yeah, I've got a leaflet through my door. It's not always that. Sometimes it's just my neighbor. Sometimes it's just my work colleague, My work colleague's always talking about property. My work colleague shared with me that he's got income from property. My work colleagues told me that he's actually just replaced his salary with the money he's making from property. So if I've got something that's on my mind about property, unless I've got a problem, I'm going to go and speak to the colleague. I'm going to go speak to the neighbor. So we spoke about marketing. Guys, you know me. I like marketing. I could go on for a long time. Day 12, day 13, we started to speak about managing relationships specifically. Okay? And day 12 and day 13 for me were quite powerful. Okay? We was talking about how you actually build those relationships so people go from strangers to knowing, liking, and trusting you and working with you. Then on day 14 and 15, we went even deeper. Okay? On day 14 and 15, we started to talk about measuring. On day 14 and 15, we started to talk about how do you know when a deal is even a deal? 14, we spoke about return on investment. We broke down the concept of return on investment to a degree to help you guys understand the depth of return on investment. That's what we covered on day 14. On day 15, we came back utilizing examples about return on investment. We went in on day 15. On day 15, we spoke about cryptocurrency. We spoke about stocks and shares. We spoke about property. We spoke about renting property rather than buying property. And I shared a concept with you guys. I said, you cannot force appreciation in cryptocurrency. You cannot force appreciation in stocks and share investing, but you can force appreciation in property investment, whether through rental or through ownership. If you own a house, you can convert the garage to a bedroom, rent the bedroom out. You've just added an additional £600 a month, which is £7,200 a year to your investment return. You can't do that in stocks and shares. You can't go and make your stock more valuable. You can't go and make a cryptocurrency more valuable. We spoke about this on day 15. And that leads us up to yesterday, which means I've done a good job of recapping. Yesterday was day 16. Yesterday, we started to talk about maturing property deals. And what I basically brought down to you guys was the key to maturing property deals is actually building out a team. Okay? Building out a team that you can throw things to, work with, make things happen. All right? So that was actually day 16. Now tonight, day 17, we're going to be continuing our second part, speaking specifically about how you move forward as it pertains to working with other people. Tonight, I'm going to give you one principle, one key, and I'm going to give you a whole bunch of value as it pertains to that one principle and to that key. And this is a principle and key we've all seen, we've all heard, but not all of us do. And I'm going to show you how you can do it. So let's make this happen. Now, let me jump in the chat real quick. After that fantastic, fantabulastic, as some people used to say, recap. And then we're going to be good. Like I usually say, if you haven't hit that like button, hit that like button side by side with that. Why don't you press subscribe if you are not subscribed already to the channel, and hit that bell notification. Let the YouTube world know I got the content. I got the value. So someone else should have it too. All right, we got FP Comms in the chat. Nicola is going for it. She says, thank you, Samuel. Most welcome, Nicola. You always have to share things that are good. Okay, the problem with our world is we are trying to share too many things that are not good. Bad news is not good news. So there's no point sharing bad news. We might as well share good news. Nicola says in the comment, the reason why you succeed, Samuel, is because you think long term and you know the difference between marketing, brand building, and advertising. You also show consistency and reliability. That's what we're here to do. And that's what I want to help every single person on the stream do too. Okay, because that's the key, guys. That's actually the key. The key is not, oh, you know what you're doing. No. The key is, are you going to show up on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday and Saturday and Sunday and Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday and Saturday and Sunday and Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, Friday and Saturday and Sunday? Are you? You need to ask yourself that question. Going back to day 7, are you committed Okay, because it's that commitment which then translates to other people as reliability, then translates to other people as consistency. And that's when you can start talking about the formula I gave you earlier: massive action multiplied by the right stuff multiplied by consistency equals your results. Okay, so if you want to get what you've been working for, okay, if you want to get what you've been articulating on day 3, guys, all you've got to do is follow the formula we've given you for the last set of days. Okay, so guys, if you're ready to go, let me see the words ready to go in the chat. Let me see the words ready to go in the chat, and we'll jump straight in tonight with what you guys need to do. Now, let me say this because I haven't said this already, but I will say this. Okay, I haven't even read our disclaimer. That's how you know I'm in the zone today. It's a good point to share the disclaimer. Let's share the disclaimer, and then straight after sharing the disclaimer, I'll hopefully see some ready to goes, and then we'll jump straight into the value. I can see the chat popping up already, so I know that I know my people are ready to go. Here's the disclaimer. All information provided and results given are exemplary. Each person's results may vary or differ. Results are based on consistent strategies, and we advise that you always, yes, always seek legal and financial advice from a qualified professional. Okay, so that is the disclaimer out of the way. Thankfully, we can move on now with the show. I got my ready to go. I got my ready to go. I got my ready to go. All right, now, this is one thing I've got to say, okay? I want you guys to be mindful of this. We're talking about maturing property deals, okay? I'm going to say that one more time. We're talking about maturing property deals, okay? Now, as we're talking about maturing property deals, what I want you to understand is something very simple, okay? The people I'm talking to are people who understand that this does not start with maturing. You don't start at the maturing side, okay? It doesn't work like that. You don't start at the maturing side. The place you start is at the marketing side. That's the beginning of the cycle, okay? I shared with you guys a principle that Grant Cardone shared with me. Strangers have everything you need. Strangers, write that down. If you haven't heard that from me before, write it down. That was one of the episodes of our podcast on the Impact Investing podcast. Write that down, guys. Strangers have everything you need. You see, the problem with most people, you guys are going to get me ranting right now, but let me come out of the rant. The problem with most people is that they look at someone else and say, oh, he drives the car I'd like to drive. But they don't realize that the same way someone else is driving the car you like to drive, someone else is waiting for you to come and pick up that same car. Okay, and I'll give you an example. You see the showroom, okay, in South Kensington, there is a Lamborghini showroom, okay? And you know what they do in that showroom? They await people like you and me to come and collect our cars. That's all they're doing. That's all they're doing. You might, oh no, they're salesmen. They try. Listen, let me tell you something. Have you ever seen a Lamborghini advert on the television? Ever? Someone tell me yes or no in the chat. I want to know. Have you ever seen a Lamborghini advert? Ever, 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 ever. Green Lamborghini, yellow Lamborghini, hey, any color. Just tell me. Have you ever seen an advert for a Lamborghini? Let's even shift it. What about Ferrari? Have you ever seen a Ferrari advert in your life? I would love to know what it looks like. What does a Ferrari advert look like? How do you advertise a Ferrari in a TV commercial? Have you ever seen a Ferrari advert in your life? Let me know. Let me know, please. I'm interested. I'm interested. I'm actually interested to know. Okay? Because you see these guys, they're not out here trying to sell you. They know what they create. They know they create exotic vehicles, supercars, hyper vehicles. They know that what they create is not for the mediocre of the world. They know that what they create is for people who are going above and beyond in their own sectors and fields. They want the people who consider themselves to be elite to come and work with them. And I hope you understand the language I just used. I said to come and work with them, not come and buy a car from them. Come and work with them. Why? Because that is their only marketing strategy. Their marketing strategy is we sell a product which costs so much that most people can't buy it. So when you see someone driving one, that's all the advertisement you need, because most people can't buy this. So why are we sharing it with most people on the television? Hope you understand that. Thank you, KTR, in the chat. She says no. Guys, I don't think there's ever been a Lamborghini advert. I don't think there's ever been a Ferrari advert. Those brands, supercar brands, have you ever seen a McLaren advert? Guys, these people don't advertise to the masses. You know why? Their product is not for the masses. You need to take a leaf out of their book and start to understand what they're doing. You see, when you go to your day job Monday to Friday and you are only advertising Monday to Friday, your boss and your day job, the fact that you are, like, for me, I used to be a teacher, you're going to advertise the fact, oh, you're a teacher, oh, you're a lead practitioner, you're going to advertise that you're a lead practitioner, oh, you're going to advertise this, you're going to, listen, let me tell you something, you're advertising the wrong thing, because that thing is not going to change your life. You've been already doing that thing for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, you know the income, you know the salary projections. Look, this is the thing, sometimes, why don't we just do the basic maths? Like, I'm going to ask that again because I think it's a really important question to ask. Why don't we just sometimes do the basic maths? Sometimes, why don't we just say to ourselves, look, I've been working in this company for the last 2 years. I've been on average each year making this salary, 30K a year, 40K a year, 60K a year, 100K a year, whatever it is. You write your numbers down. Your numbers will be different to mine and everyone else's. Straight after you write that number down, you got to say to yourself, okay, what's my salary and income projection? Listen, let me tell you something. This was one of the things that got me out of teaching. I'm going to tell you the truth. Can I tell you the truth? Write the word truth in the chat if I can tell you the truth. One of the things that got me out of teaching is I sat down one day and I just did the maths. How can you say you're an A-level maths teacher, you're a secondary school maths teacher, you're teaching teachers how to teach, and you don't ever sit down and actually do the maths of your own life? You don't ever sit down and do the equation of your own life. I had a very clearly articulated vision even when I was working in schools. My clear articulated vision was I wanted to start my own federation of schools. I wanted to have 3 schools, one in Africa, one in the West Indies, and one in the UK. 3 schools teaching a Christian curriculum, Bible-based curriculum, supplemented with entrepreneurship and enterprise. That's been my goal for over 15 years. That's been my goal. And I was working full time with that as my goal, to start my own school. And I remember years ago, my wife said to me, you know, you don't have to work in the school and become an assistant head in charge of teaching and learning to go and achieve your goal. That was part of my goal. Part of my goal, I believed, okay, guys, look, hashtag day 4, faith and fear, because I want you to understand how powerful this is. Some of you think, oh, you know, you were just doing that because... No, listen, let me tell you something. I was doing that because I was afraid. I was doing it because I was afraid. Guys, let me explain this to you. This is why when I'm teaching you this stuff, these 21 days, guys, I'm not just teaching you fluff. I'm teaching you stuff I've lived through, stuff I've seen, stuff I can even say I've died through, because I've had to become a different person. I shared this with you guys yesterday. Nothing happens until you change. You cannot be the person you see until you change. I told you that yesterday. If I told you that yesterday, write the word truth in the chat, please. Guys, I hope you understand. Okay, it's a simple concept. I was in a space where I was a well-paid teacher. Okay? I was a well-paid teacher. My late 20s, my early 30s, I was getting paid 50K, £47,000 to work in a school where teachers older than me were not even getting that as a salary. I hope you understand where I'm coming from. And you know the funniest thing? One day, even on a 50K salary, one day I had to do the maths. And I said to myself, listen, Samuel, you want to set up a federation of schools, right? You want a school in Africa, a school in the West Indies, you want a school in the UK, right? Then I said to myself, well, listen, if you want these 3 schools in these 3 places, how much you think that's going to take to set up? Just roughly, how much you think it's going to take to set up? And I didn't even really know. I didn't have any numbers, but I knew I was probably going to be looking 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 pounds. We're probably looking more than that. Okay, and I'm not even really talking about in the UK. I'm talking really more about the Africa effort, more about the West Indies effort. You see, in the UK, especially the kind of location I was thinking about, I'm really probably looking about £1 million. Okay, £1 million. And we're talking startup fees. We're not talking about, you know, longevity. We're talking about startup cost. So let's be nice. Let's be nice. Let's be nice. Let's be nice. Let's say my vision, okay, was gonna cost me somewhere in the region of 750,000. We're being nice, we're subsidizing, we're reducing, we're underestimating. Okay, we're being nice. Let's say it's gonna cost me roughly £750,000 to actually start the Federation of Schools I wanted to start. Okay, let's just say we're estimating. I was working a job with a 50k a year salary. I had a wife, I had children. So I got commitments. So I've got to spend money on my living expenses, right? Then on top of that, I did the real maths. I said, well, what's the highest position I can get to in this education thing? In these schools, what's the highest position? I think at the time, there was a head teacher who was on just under 200,000 a year. And he was what they call an executive head teacher, which means he's the head teacher of multiple schools. Okay, I think he had about 6 schools under him, but roughly his salary was just under 200k. So I said to myself, well, if I get to the top of the ladder that I'm actually on, by the way things look right now, 200k is kind of the cap, right? 200k is like near the cap, it's the top. Then I said to myself, okay, well, if you get that 200k, okay, because we want to be optimistic. Let's say you get that 200k. Can you start your school? And you know, something interesting happened to me at that point, because I realized something. I realized something that I heard from Jim Rohn years ago, something I share with people all the time. I think it was 2005. I heard Jim Rohn say this. Jim Rohn said, and guys, you better write this down. This is some good notes. If you haven't heard me say this before and you haven't written this down before, you need to write this down now. Jim Rohn said, profits are better than wages. Okay, someone should write that in the chat. Profits are better than wages. So I'm in this space where I've got this vision. We've just estimated roughly £750,000 to make happen. And I've just said to myself, if I get to the top of the ladder of the industry I'm in, I'm probably going to be able to make I'm probably going to be able to make around 200k. And then the principle that Jim Rohn said hit me. Profits are better than wages. And I realized something. I realized that if I was on 200,000 a year as a executive head teacher, that would be a wage. It would be a salary. So let me tell you all the issues that come along with salaries and wages. The first issue that comes along with salaries and wages is they are taxed in ways you cannot argue, fight, or even protect. Okay, you see, an entrepreneur, I remember doing this video at the Docklands in Excel about maybe a year or 2 years ago. I did this video where I said that you need to change your reality. And in that video, I broke something down. I said most people would prefer to make 30,000 in a business than to be paid 30,000 in a salary. Okay, that's a video I did years ago on my Facebook. All right, so I'm sharing that with you guys for you guys to understand what I'm talking about. You see, most people who know what they're doing would prefer to generate £200,000 in a business in a year than to actually get paid £200,000 in a job. Okay? Because when you get paid £200,000 in a business, or when you generate, let me use that term, when you generate £200,000 in a business, you know what you can do? You can buy a company car. Okay? And your revenue is not deducted from tax on that because that's actually a company expense. Okay, so that's an expense. That's not a luxury item you've just bought. Whereas when a normal person on a salary spends on a car, they've now gone and bought an actual item post-tax. So they've been taxed before they're able to buy the car. All right. So there's a lot of principles like this. I'm not a tax expert, so I just say that to you guys, but I want you to understand there's a lot of underlying principles behind when Jim Rohn says profits are better than wages. So I came to this place where I started to realize, well, hold on a minute, if I make 200,000 a year as an executive head teacher, that's a wage. So the first issue with that is I will not be able to protect the money from the taxation, from the level of taxation. Now look, most of you know, if you make 50k or more right now, you are in what they call the higher tax bracket. So you're looking at roughly 40% of everything above the 50k. Now, when you're on 200k, more is above the 50k than below the 50k. So I hope you understand about the maths there. Now, the next thing, besides the fact that you can't actually protect it from tax, is the second thing. The fact that in order to get a wage is always directly correlated with your work ethic and your work results. So what that basically means is if I wasn't able to work for one of those years, I wouldn't probably get that full 200k salary, because it is contingent to my work and my effort, my productivity, my product, what I produce. So I started to realize, hold on a minute, this is a wage. And then the third thing I started to realize is, listen, I'm already at that time, I'm already working in education. I'm already waking up early. I'm already having to get into school early. I'm already leaving school late. If I actually was what I'm working towards at the top of the ladder, what kind of life would I have? What kind of family would I have? Would my wife ever see me? Would my children ever see me? It made me realize I didn't want to make that money that way. And the reality was, when you do the maths for yourself. If you're on a 200k salary a year, let's say you're really walking away with around 110. We're probably being nice, but let's say you're walking away with 110 of the 200 on your salary. Okay. The reality is, if you're walking away with 110, let's say you got your family expenses, whatever they are, 30k a year. Let's be nice, 30k a year. You're living way below your means. Okay. So you're walking away with 80 grand a year. That would still take you 10 years to start to do what I've just said costs 750k. And the question is, would you even have the energy? Would you not burn out by then? I don't know the answer to these questions, but what I'm saying is sometimes we've got to do the maths. And I did the maths, and it made me realize I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here. I need to change something. So I want you guys to start thinking about that for yourself. I want you guys to start doing the maths for yourself. I want you guys to start asking the questions for yourself. This is why we're doing these 21 days of your property investing success, because I want to help you do the maths on your life and succeed, not do the maths on your life and fail. This is the problem with schools today. Schools are giving us the wrong messages. They're teaching us that mediocrity makes sense. They're teaching us that mediocrity is for everybody. Mediocrity is not for everybody. When you close your eyes, guys, I don't want to go into where I went yesterday, but when you close your eyes, I know what you see is not mediocrity. When you think about yourself, I know what you see for your future is not mediocrity. So guys, don't let them convince you of the wrong thing. So let's go into today's principle. How do you close deals? Now, like I said, this is coming off the back of understanding you need to market. You need to start by marketing. Then from marketing, you need to manage relationships. This is the sourcing blueprint framework. Straight after you market to people and manage those relationships, you then need to measure the property opportunity to make sure it makes sense. There are so many people who do what we call buy a lemon. They buy lemons. They don't buy high cash flowing property assets. They buy lemons. They buy a property that makes no sense. They take on a rent to rent that makes no sense. They say they're doing rent to service accommodation, but they're buying a basement flat, or they're renting a basement flat where nobody wants to stay. Guys, it has to make sense. That's what measuring is all about, which is what we covered in the previous days. Now, yesterday and today is all about maturing the deals. The principle I'm going to share with you, I'm going to give it to you in the language you understand, and then I'm going to give you some constructs to work with, okay? You guys have said ready to go already, so I'm going straight in. The principle we're talking about tonight is just do it. JDI. Just do it. You see, for many people who want to actually close deals and mature deals, you know what it is? They're waiting for someone else to do it rather than them just doing it. And I've got a great case study right now. Great case study. I actually purposely created this case study earlier on. You see, earlier on in tonight's show, I said to you guys, there's a formula to success. I gave you guys what you believed you needed to move forward. And this is a real formula for success. But I did not define the formula. I didn't close the deal. I did not close the deal. This is what many people do. Many people do some marketing, okay? Many people end up speaking to some landlords, speaking to some house sellers, speaking to some estate agents, speaking to people. And then when they're speaking to those people, you know, they ruminate around the deal. Many people ruminate around the idea, around the ideology, around the opportunity. Many even people go to the third stage of the sourcing blueprint and start measuring it. They go down, they get their deal analyzer, they break it down. Hold on a minute, this deal could make us some money. I could actually make more from this deal than I make from my salary right now. This is a great deal. Many people do the marketing, do the managing, do the measuring. But when it comes to the maturing, many people don't just do it, as Nike calls it. You see, I gave you guys a ruminated idea, but I didn't close. And I wanted to see who's going to close me. Who out here understands that it's not just about marketing, it's not just about managing, it's not just about measuring, it's about maturing. In order for you to convert an idea into cash in your bank, you have to be able to mature. You have to be able to mature that transaction from its infancy into its adult form. Its adult form, its completed form is, if you want to put it in my own words, the way I say it to my team, is a testimonial. That means we're even past the fact we've made money here. We need to get back to the fact that the client is actually happy that they decided to go with us. I'm so glad you guys provided that service. I'm so glad you guys were able to show up. I'm so glad I called you guys after seeing your leaflet. I'm so glad that my friend referred me to you guys. You see, you have to be able to get to a place where you can close. You see, this is why I really appreciate KTR jumping on and saying, what does the formula stand for? Because what she's actually doing is she's asking me a question which is now giving me the opportunity to close myself. And this is sometimes what we've got to do. We've got to just do it. Now, I don't know, KTR, if you were feeling apprehension before you sent that message. I don't know if you were sitting there thinking, did Samuel forget? I don't know what you were thinking. I don't know if you were battling with what we spoke of on day 4. I don't know if you was battling with faith or fear, because obviously this is a small example. This is a what do they call it? A social experiment that I've just done. It's not the same as the real thing, but I can guarantee you with the real thing, when you've got an estate agent who's waiting for you to close the deal, or you've got a seller who's waiting for you to close the deal, or you've got a landlord who's waiting for you to close the deal, and you're not closing the deal, sometimes you might be apprehensive. You might be like, have I really done the numbers correct? Do I really know if it's the right deal? Then you go back into if you see what I'm doing, I'm going to tell you what I'm doing before I actually give you the examples. Some people unravel the sourcing blueprint framework. They've done the marketing, they've managed the relationship, they've measured the opportunity, they get to the maturing, they don't know how to mature, so you know what they start doing? They start unraveling, they backtrack everything. They start asking themselves questions about whether they really did the numbers correctly. Then they start asking themselves, oh, is the seller actually just trying to sell them a dud deal? See, now they're unraveling the management that they've done, the management of the relationship. They've built a relationship, they've built a rapport with the seller, but now they're unraveling that in their head. In their psychology, they're now saying to themselves, is that person really who I think they are? Now they unravel the second piece of the sourcing blueprint. They go and unravel the first bit. They start unraveling their marketing efforts. You have gone and spent money. You have gone and spent time. You have gone and marketed yourself. So how dare you, when you recognize that a deal is a deal because of fear, day 4, hashtag, you start unraveling and unwinding all of that work. Start telling yourself, maybe the numbers aren't what I thought they were. Guys, there's a way you can check on numbers. There's a way you could look at a spreadsheet and say, oh, let's double check this. You don't have to unravel it to double check it. This is why I spoke yesterday about part of successfully closing deals is having the right team around you. Because if you've got the coach in place as an example, as one of the team members, when you start getting to that place where you're trying to walk yourself backwards out of the deal, your coach will say, hey, what's happening? What are you doing? What are you doing? You just worked on this deal for 6.5 months. What are you doing? Why would you now start second guessing your numbers? We've looked at this several times. What are you doing? Why would you now start questioning your relationship with the seller, with the landlord? What are you doing? Why are you doing this? You see, your coach, for example, it doesn't have to be your coach, but one of the players that you bring on in the team, okay, for those of you who didn't see it yesterday, this is the resource I created, Team 10, which helps people understand the 10 key players they need in order to succeed in their property investing journey. Discover your property power team. One of those people will say to you, what are you doing? Let's see KTR's comment. Guys, I'm telling you, this stuff is real. KTR says, thought you might have already explained and I didn't hear, but I thought I would ask anyway. I did hesitate because of fear of embarrassment. Boom. I want you guys, see, look, this is why I love people like KTR who jump on the stream. This is why I love people like, our community is a real community. Okay, yes, I try my best to foster it because I asked you several times. I always ask you guys for permission for me to be transparent. I always ask you guys for permission for me to tell the truth. I always ask for the permission. And because I ask for that permission, I know wherever you are watching this stuff, you guys are thinking to yourself, do you have the permission? And obviously you guys know I give you full permission to be transparent in this environment. But the reason I love people like KTR who jump on the stream, we had Dion the other day who jumped on the stream. Guys, you see, these are people that are going to help us move forward because they're going to tell the truth. You see, there's so many people who allow ego to mask the truth, so we can't develop, we can't learn, we can't move forward. Cosmios, great to have you in the chat and in the live and in the conversation. Cosmios just writes a very powerful comment. There are no stupid questions, only the ones never asked. And that's a real example of exactly what I'm talking about. You see, when you have real, genuine people together in a community, we can progress at light speeds beyond other people. You know why? Because we can tell each other the truth. Again, biblical principle. The Bible says they shall know the truth and the truth will set them free. You know what that means? That means you can live at your highest level of life, freedom, when you know the truth. The problem is most people don't know the truth because they keep lying to themselves because of pride. Look at what I said to you guys earlier. I said to you guys, I had to do the maths. I had to calculate. I can't lie to myself. I can't have the pride. Oh, I'm on 47k a year as a teacher. Oh, most teachers my age will never be on this salary. Oh, listen, if I let pride steal me, rob me, kidnap me from the truth of the fact that what I'm trying to live for is way beyond the highest rung of this ladder in this industry I'm in right now. Let me tell you something, guys. First and foremost, I wouldn't even be here giving you guys value right now. That's the first thing. I know I wouldn't. Let alone the amount of progress we have made on all the different fronts of the goals that we have as a family, as individuals, as co-directors, etc. The point I'm trying to make to you guys is sometimes you just got to tell the truth. And this is why I appreciate KTR's comment, because it helps us see exactly what I'm talking about. This is the same thing that happens with people. KTR's articulated exactly the same thing I was sharing with you guys. This is what happens with so many people. They've told their friends, their work colleagues, their neighbors that they're doing property. They might have got their first deal. They're making a little bit of money. They're telling people. They're showing people, come and see, come and view the new unit that we've just got. You know, we got some good guests that have come and stayed, etc., etc. And then from marketing, they start entertaining conversations. People are now calling you, hey, Samuel, I heard you're doing property now. Yeah, you know, I saw your post on Facebook. I saw your LinkedIn. Okay, what can we do together? And you maybe position something to them. The measuring. Hey, you know what? I've got a property opportunity coming up. It's a development. We're going to buy a pub, convert the pub into 4 apartments. We're going to need 100k to jump in. Have you got 100k to jump in? Do you want to be one of the investors who jump in? What's in it for you? This is the kind of return we can give you. We'll hold on to the money for 24 months. At the end of 24 months, we'll give you a 5% return for each year. So now you've measured it. You've given something tangible, numerical, measured. All you need to do is close. And you know, for some people, just like KTR's spoke about, fear sets in. Fear sets in. They second guess themselves. I am so grateful, and I'm sure, I hope KTR is also grateful. I'm so grateful that KTR said, I think he might have already explained this. I didn't hear, but let me ask anyway. I'm so glad that she said, I'm afraid of being embarrassed, but I'm going to do it anyway. You see, this is why I shared with you guys tonight's principle is just do it. Because I want you to understand that that's what happened already on the stream. That's why I did this earlier on, because I wanted you guys to have a real example. I don't just want to talk parables to you guys. I want you guys to have this tangibly and understand exactly what Samuel's saying to you. Look at Nilas Rico. Come on. This is what I love. Come on. Nilas Rico, welcome to the stream. Great to have you on. Thank you for your comment. First comment came with the power. Appreciate that. Nilis Rico says in the comment, fear has slapped them before. They had some deals. For some reason, they ran away. Laugh out loud. You see, guys, I want you to understand this is not about losing. It's about winning. But the way you win is by understanding winning's got nothing to do with what people think it is. People think winning's about money. You see, there's the old adage, oh, it takes money to make money. Let me tell you something. I'm in the process right now of wrapping up a deal which I have put 0 pence. I'm not even going to talk about pounds. I have put 0 pence into the deal. We signed the contract on this deal at the end of December. I'm waiting for one more piece of the puzzle to fit together. If that one piece of the puzzle fits together, and I'll know if it's going to by the 1st of February, because that's the contractual date we take over the property. But guys, let me tell you something. If by the 1st of February, you guys need to just hold me to account. Obviously, we won't be doing the 21 days of your property investing success by then anyway. We would have finished. But those of you who are still rocking with me in any way, shape or form, you can ask me from the 1st of February, Samuel, did you end up doing the no money deal? I'm about to complete all of the pieces of the puzzle of a deal where I've closed 3 people. I've closed number 1. I've closed number 2. I'm in the process of closing number 3 so I can mature the whole deal. This is going to be a no money down deal. Another one. But this one's going to be, for me, the best one out of all of the ones from before. Because I can clearly see here how every time the opportunity came for me to have to put money down, something else came and it was like, oh, let's use this strategy. Oh, bam, bam. I'm looking forward to find out if this happens. I know you guys are, but I actually am myself. Because it's just going to be another testimonial. Another example of how we can make things happen. Guys, fear is going to try and stop you every step of that way. That's why day 4 is so crucial. As you see, guys, I hope you guys understand. When we go through all these practical things from day 8 all the way till today, day 17, I hope you understand every one of the days from day 8 to day 17, we've been referring back to the first 7 days. You know why? Because there's aspects of those first 7 days which are the foundation to where we're at. You can't close a deal successfully if you don't understand how to balance and manage your faith and your fear. Look at Nicola. Nicola in the chat, she says the same thing. At KTR, she was in the very same position. So she thought she would just wait until she saw the playback. See, now this is a thing. Let me add this because I want to add this. All right. And this, again, Nicola, this ain't me putting it on you, but this is me saying this to all of us. You see, the problem with the playback, and I said this to everyone at the beginning of the show, the problem with the playback, we're not live anymore. So the problem with the playback is you aren't going to get the feedback at the same speed. You're not going to get the answer at the same speed. You're not going to find out at the same speed. If we let this all go, we get back to the playback rather than say, you know what, I feel like I'll be a bit embarrassed, but let me just ask anyway. Let me just do it. You see, the just do it allows you to find out whether good or whether bad, whether embarrassed or whether not embarrassed. And this is what so many of us do. And this is why it's even more powerful for me that Nicola now shares what she shared, because it shows us both sides of the coin. There are people who are looking at a situation like, I know I've done the numbers. I know we've really built this relationship to make this our deal. You know, I know the marketing worked, but I don't know. You see, some people end on the I don't know. And it goes back to what I said yesterday. Sometimes there's ways to hack the I don't know out of your mentality. One of those ways is having a successful property power team around you. If you've got a successful team around you, 2 or 3 of your power team members will be kind of involved in the deal. And because 2 or 3 of your power team members will be involved in the deal, you know what that means? 2 or 3 of your guys will be like, what are you talking about? Come on. Like, you've put a lot of effort into this. again, like I said, the reason I like using the coach is because the coach is supposed to hold you accountable. The coach will say to you, what are you doing? Why are you walking away from this? Where's your apprehension? What are you scared of? But it might not be the coach. It might be your accountant. Your accountant who says to you, yeah, I've been looking over your numbers from last year. This is just a typical deal like what you did last year. It actually looks a bit better than what you did last year. It might be your accountant. It could be any of the people who play the position in the team 10. Okay? Shout out to Nicholas Rico. Never again, though. Trust me. You don't need to run away because of fear. Again, when you learn how to manage this stuff. So like I said to you guys tonight, the principle is just do it. So I'm going to share with you a technique. Okay? This technique is an extremely helpful technique in order for you to make sure you make the right thing happen with the right deals that come your way. Okay? Hope you guys are ready for this. There's kind of two techniques I'm going to show you, but it's one technique, but it's been framed in different ways. I'll share with you the way I learned it, and then I'll share with you how it's taught in another way as well. Let me know if you guys are getting value. Just write in the chat value, and I will know you guys are getting value. Tonight's been a nice stream, man. Guys, thank you for participating with us tonight. It's been amazing. It's always good to have a great audience with us. I should have put this in the chat as well. Sorry, excuse me. I mean, I should have got this in the description as well, but I haven't. But it's all good. Nicholas Rico says value. Nicholas says, no offense taken, all learning. Her point was more kudos to KTR because it was the right move. Totally. You know, this is the thing. Both moves were the right moves because this is a learning environment, just like you said. You know, so both moves were the right move. We needed both sides of the coin so we could all get the learning. And the key now is for us to all use the learning to make sure we all win going forward. Ellie Ballroom says value. Nicholas Rico says value. Thank you, guys. All right, now, here we go. The technique that I was taught, okay, I learned this from another guy who had a property sourcing company. Great guy. He's now moved out of the UK. KTR says value. Thank you. That principle, or that technique, excuse me, is called smash and grab. Okay, smash and grab. So you write that down. The technique is smash and grab. The technique is called smash and grab. And you're hearing it right. Smash, S-M-A-S-H, and A-N-D, grab, G-R-A-B. Smash and grab. All right. So it sounds a bit crazy, sounds a bit unorthodox, but you know, the things that help you succeed are unorthodox. So I'm just sharing that with you. Now the technique, thank you Nicola for the value, see that in the comments. Now the technique smash and grab, this is all it consists of. And look, I'm going to give it to you rough and raw because that's how I learned it. And then after I give it to you rough and raw, I'll then come back and give it to you nice and neat technically. Because I know some people like that technical stuff. All right. Thank you Daniel Okori, I see your comment value in the comments. All right, so let's go for this. All right. The principle smash and grab is a principle which basically means when you have an opportunity in front of you that you have recognized is the most valuable opportunity out of all the other opportunities around you, you drop everything, you smash everything, you drop it. Imagine you're carrying plates, you drop it, you smash all of that, and you grab the opportunity. Okay. Drop, smash, and grab. So that's why it's called smash and grab. You drop the things that you're dealing with and you focus on the thing that is of most value. Okay, so what does this look like? Now, if you've got a property sourcing business, or if you've been sourcing deals or finding great property deals for any amount of time, you'll understand exactly what I mean. There are times where you have 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe 12 deals you're looking at all at once. Okay, depending on how big your operation is, you might have 100, 150 deals you're looking at one time. Some people have even bigger organizations than that. I've never been in that position, so I'm not going to talk about that. Okay, but 100 deals at a time, we've seen those kind of things. Now, if you're in a position where you've got deals that you're looking at, and again, it doesn't have to be the 100. Let's extrapolate it all the way down. So this is realistic for us. Yeah, you might be looking at 2 or 3 deals any month. So let's say it's month 1, January of the year. You've done some good marketing, Q4 of 2020. So let's say October, November, December of 2020, you were doing your marketing campaigns, whatever they were, telling your work colleagues, whatever they were, telling your neighbors, whatever they were, leafleting, whatever they were, social media ads, whatever they were, Google AdWords, whatever they were, PR movements, whatever they were. Let's just say you're doing your marketing campaigns throughout Q4 of 2020 and they've been going successful. Yeah. So now in January, you got 3 opportunities you're looking at. These are opportunities that kind of came to you at the end of December or throughout those last months of 2020. So these 3 opportunities are different opportunities. One might be a flat, one might be a house, one might be this, one might be that. And obviously, like I said, you use your property power team, you leverage. That's my other friend. We haven't spoke about leverage any time yet throughout the 21 days of your property investing success, and I'm going to try my best to not talk about leverage unless you guys draw it out of me. And what we might do is the last 2 days, day 20 and day 21, we might talk about my other friends. So my 2 good friends are momentum and leverage. They're the 2 good friends that when I start talking about them, people get a whole bunch of value. Yeah, momentum and leverage. But again, guys, you know, we got lots of videos on our channels which you can go and watch, where we basically break down leverage and how leverage is powerful. But anyway, so let's say you're in a position where you've got a power team or you've got people around you, you've got a coach. Okay, let's say you just got a coach. It's just you and a coach. Okay, because I know KTR, for example, she was doing a coaching program with me some time back, and she was in that position. She didn't have everybody, she didn't have all of the people from the team 10 that I talk about, but she had me as a coach. Okay, so I know at that time KTR was looking at a specific deal. So let's say KTR, apologies KTR, I'm using you as the example, I hope that's fine with you, let us know in the chat. All right, so we got KTR who's looking at a deal or looking at deals. Let's say she's looking at 3 deals and she doesn't have the team 10 in place. She doesn't have all of the pieces of the team, but she has a coach. She has Samuel I Can Win who's coaching her through the property opportunity. Now she looks at deal number 1, does the numbers, maybe runs it by a coach. What do you think about this coach? Rent to rent opportunity in London. What do you think? Blah, blah, blah. Coach says, you know what? Looks like a good opportunity. Have you thought of this? Have you thought of that? Have you thought of this? Have you thought of that? Thank you, KTR. I see your that's fine in the chat. So coach basically does what a coach does, holds her accountable, scrutinizes the opportunity. And she comes back and says, you know what? This is all right, but it's not where it needs to be. The numbers I need to get offered on this for it to make sense are far from where it is. So I'll kind of put it on the back burner. But I'm still entertaining it. Why? Because you're new, you're trying to get your deal. So you're still kind of entertaining it, but you know it's not a fantastic deal. Then you look at the second deal. Let's say it's a flat short lease opportunity and you can see, wow, like I could make 40K on this, but you've never done a short lease before. You're still trying to kind of work out if it makes sense. Ask your coach gives you some help. Now you see, okay, I can see there is an opportunity here, but it's still a strategy outside of my field, for example. Then a third opportunity comes, and this opportunity, you look at it, it's exactly the strategy that you're doing. You start running the numbers on it. The numbers seem to make sense. You run it by your coach. Your coach asks you the same questions as he asked you on the first deal, and the answers are all different. The answers are, yeah, no, I can see how this makes sense. Can I run the spreadsheet by you? Spreadsheet comes to the coach. Coach looks at the spreadsheet. Coach is like, yeah, the numbers look okay. He comes back to you. You scrutinize it, check on spare room. Everything makes sense. And then it's like, okay, cool, good. Smash and grab needs to be implemented now. So what smash and grab is, drop the other 2 deals, forget them. Now you're not forgetting them like you're not ever going to do them, but you're forgetting them like these are not my priority right now. The short lease opportunity is not my priority right now. Yes, there's potentially £40,000 to be made there, but it's not my priority right now. I am smashing it. The first rent-to-rent opportunity in London that came up, yes, it looks like it's a good opportunity, but I said to the landlord, I will have to pay £2,000 a month for that 6-bedroom HMO, and the landlord keeps being adamant that they want £2,600. I'm leaving it on the back burner. Drop it. Okay? Smash and grab. Just do it. Okay? So just do it is the principle I'm saying to you, but the technique that you utilize to just do it is smash and grab. You drop everything that is not of immense value and you pursue the one thing you need to mature. And the one thing you need to mature in this case is that deal that makes sense, the great deal out of those 3 deals, the one that's telling you you need a deal like me. So that's the raw way of describing it. Smash and grab, drop everything you're doing and focus on the deal that is at hand. That's how you start to close deals. You start to close deals when you make them your focus, okay? And I said this to you guys earlier, I'll say it to you again. You get results on the things you're committed to, okay? So when you have 3 deals that you're juggling, okay, and I don't juggle, okay? I don't juggle. I try not to multitask. My wife can tell you that. But look, let's say, for example, you are juggling 3 opportunities. Because your commitment is a slight touch. You see, in the process of juggling, I don't know if you understand this. In the process of juggling, you are slightly touching each of the things you're juggling, okay? In the process of juggling, you're not committed to any one of the things you're juggling. If you're juggling 3 balls, you're not committed to those 3 balls. If you're juggling 2 balls, you're not committed to the 2 balls. If you're juggling 4 balls, 5 balls, 6 balls, you're not committed to any one of those balls. That's part of the problem. The smash and grab principle says when you are juggling, which is nothing wrong with juggling according to the smash and grab principle, but when you identify, okay, hey, powerful. Nilos Rico, thank you for your comment. When you are juggling multiple opportunities, 3 or 4 opportunities, right move opportunities, landlord opportunities, estate agent opportunities, sales opportunities, neighbor opportunities, friends at work opportunities, and you identify there's one opportunity, drop everything and grab the ball. Grab the one ball, smash the rest, let them hit the floor, but grab the one that you know you need to mature and work on it. Close it. Get the deal closed. Because the thing is, there's so many powerful principles in here which I can elaborate and allude to. Guys, let me know if you want me to. But one of them which comes to mind straight away is the fact that if you smash and grab, do you know what you do? You put yourself under immense pressure because all the other opportunities are still waiting for you. All those other opportunities that you've dropped are going to have someone, especially if you've got a power team in place. If you've got a team in place, each of those deals you've just potentially dropped have a member of your team in some way, shape or form mindful or connected to them. So I'll give you an example. In the example I gave a moment ago, and I'm going to use that example just so that we keep a even thread. If KTR is looking at 3 opportunities and she doesn't have an extensive power team, but she just has a coach, Samuel Ican-Wins coaching her, check the funniest thing. She's mentioned all 3 deals to me. So when she says to me, okay, I'm going to pursue this last deal, I'm going to make this last deal happen, I'm going to go and close it. When she tells me she's going to do that, that's fine. But as a member of her power team, I'm also aware of 2 other deals. So in a month or 2 months, in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I'm going to ask her something like, so what's happening with the other deals? So what's happening with the 40k short lease? So what's happening with the one where the landlord wasn't actually, on the same page for the numbers? You see, this is why, like I said yesterday, working with a team is part of helping you to mature deals over the line, because working with a team allows not everything to just be in your head. It allows you, your knowledge base, your asset base, your opportunity base to be spread abroad across your team. So there's different members of your team who remember, okay, KTR is working on this. You might have a mortgage broker, for example. You might see a short lease opportunity and say, you know what, I'm going to send this to my broker to start working on it to see if we can get a bridging loan in order to buy this short lease, because obviously it's a short lease. Those of you who do not know about short lease, just write DN in the chat, don't know, and I can explain what a short lease is. But the reality is, if you've got a short lease opportunity, you can't get a mortgage on it depending on how short the lease is. So because you can't get a mortgage, you will need to get a bridging funds, or you need to come and pay cash. So if you're paying cash, for example, you might have had a conversation with an investor about the short lease, one of your investors. Or if you're going to go and get a bridging loan, you might have had a conversation with the broker, your bridging broker, about the opportunity. So what happens when you drop that ball, you drop the ball of the short lease? It's not the most important. You're pursuing that rent to rent, which is going to give you the, what did we have the other day? 120% return on investment. I think it was 120. So you're going to focus on the rent to rent, for example, that's going to give you 120% return on investment. Your broker is going to call you in about a week. And your broker's going to say to you, hey, KTR, I've just run the numbers on this thing. You know what? We might be able to get bridging on it. They're going to bring it back to you. The point is, it's not really that important. It's only important because you're juggling. You're touching it a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. But the moment you say to yourself, no, I'm focused on this, that's how you help yourself to mature more successfully. So the key is smash and grab. And that really just means just do it. It means just focus on it. Just focus on that deal. Now, I said to you I was going to share it with you guys in a messy way, and then I'm going to share it with you in a more sophisticated technical way, which is what some of you want. There's a book. Okay, book was written in 2017. The author's name is Mel Robbins. Okay, I've not read this book, but I've had a coach, one of my coaches, spoke to me about or shared with me the principle, the technique in the book before. So that's why I'm advocating the book, guys. I don't even know how to articulate this, guys. I'm now sharing with you stuff my coaches have shared with me. I've been sharing with you stuff coaches have shared with me since day one. I guess that's how we got here, but I'm speaking about recent coaches I've had recently, people I've paid to be in my corner, techniques they've taught me, I'm now sharing with you. So guys, I don't know how much value this is to you, but you should let us know in the chat. If this is of value, write the word value. If you haven't hit like, could you hit the like button and just let the YouTube world know Samuel's crushing it right now? Samuel's giving away way too much, but that's what we do. And side by side with that, feel free to comment and subscribe. We want to see you guys on the stream. All right, let me put the chat back up. Love to see you guys communicating. All right, now let's jump into this. So I'm going to give you guys effectively a book recommendation. And this is a book which, like I said to you, one of my coaches basically shared the concept which the book teaches. Now, obviously, I'm going to try my best to share it with you, but I'm not going to share it with you as well as the author because it's a book, right? So if you can go buy the book. The book is, again, it's another one which is on Audible, which is cool. That's a really good thing. Would you like me to put this book in the description of this video? I guess that's a good question for me to ask, because that might help people to be able to find the book or come back to the book later on if necessary. So should I put the book in the description? Let me know. If the answer is yes, I'll get that done. All right. So this book is on Amazon. You got the Audible version on Audible as well. Absolutely free. Same thing that I've shared with you guys before. Go get your 30-day free trial of Audible. Get the book absolutely free. And even if you cancel in the 30 days, you still get to keep the book, which I think is awesome. Okay, so I'm just trying to find the link right now so I can share it with you guys properly. Cool. All right, I think I've got it here. All right, cool. So the title of the book is The 5-Second Rule. Okay, The 5-Second Rule. The subtitle of the book says, Surprisingly Simple Way to Live, Love, and Speak with Courage. Okay, transform your life, work, and confidence. Blah, 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 blah. That's all the subheading. It's a long subheading. All right, I'm going to throw that into the chat for those of you who are interested. That's the title of the book. Okay, so that's there for all of you guys who want that. Okay, if you go to, I'll get the team to put it in the description, because when it's in the description, that will help you guys to be able to find it. If you're watching this on a replay and you're not with us live, then go in the description. There'll be a link to the book. It'll probably come under today's book 17. We've got book 17 already, which is a different book recommendation, which I'm going to tell you guys about in a minute. So I don't know what it's going to come under. It's not going to be extra reading because we've already got a link for extra reading. I don't know, guys. Tell me what the link should be in the chat. Those of you who are live with us, this is the value of being live. You get to make decisions. You get to make executive decisions with us. I love it. All right. So tell me what we should put as the link description. I'm open to hearing what you guys think. Yeah, let's make this happen. All right. Oh, powerful, powerful, powerful. Powerful. I'm loving the comments right now. I've got in the description. Excuse me. I've got in the comments. You can see, guys, I'm getting taken away with this right now. We got Mrs. Daniel Okori. Hi, value from Daniel's wife. Love that. Thank you ever so much. We appreciate you, ma'am. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're getting value as well. So, guys, let me know. What should we call this link? What should we call this link for the book? Okay, the book is The 5-Second Rule. What should we call this link as we share it with people? KTR says link. Oh, KTR, so you don't want the name of the book, you just want the link. All right, I'll give you the link. But we don't know what we're calling the link yet, which is the challenge right now. That's why I'm asking you guys to tell me what we should call the link. All right. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. I think I'm just going to call it 5 seconds. Okay. I think that makes the most sense, just to make it quick and simple. All right. So impactproperties.co.uk/5 and then the word seconds. Okay. I'll say it again. impactproperties.co.uk/5 and then the word seconds. I'll throw that into the chat for you guys to have that as well. KTR says she wants the link. She doesn't just want the name of the book. So that's in there. Now, what we're also going to do for those of you who actually want the audio book, because I know some of you want the audio book, what we can do, which I think is going to be helpful for some of you as well, is we can give you the link to the audio book as well if you want that. So let me know if you want the link to the audio book. Just write the word link in the chat and we can send you the link to the audio book and not just the hardcover to share with you. And those of you, again, if you're watching on a replay, the link will be in the description, or well, you might not be able to see the live chat by the time you're watching this. So again, guys, we're here for you. We want to help you move forward further, faster in your property investing journey. Now, 5 seconds audio, all done perfectly. All right, so guys, let me know if you want the link for the audio by just writing the word link again in the chat, and we will throw that in there. For those of you who want to just go there, it's the same link. It is impactproperties.co.uk/5 seconds audio. Okay, so we've got 5 seconds and we've got 5 seconds audio. All right, link for audio. Thanks, KTR says in the chat. So there you go. The link for the audio is now also in the chat. Okay, and hopefully those of you who are rocking with us on the replay, you will see that we have the links in there also. So we've got the links for the audio and we've got the links for the hardcover if that's what you want. All right, now let me start to break down for you guys the principle that is actually shared in the book. Okay, so again, like I said, I haven't read the book myself, so this is not from a standpoint of me saying I have read the book. This is just from me trying to share with you guys how the book basically breaks things down. Okay, so from my understanding, what my coach basically shared with me is that the book says that people deal with anxiety, people deal with fear, okay, and a whole bunch of other emotions when they have to do things that are important, but those things that are important can be very life-changing in a positive way for them. So what the book basically says is you should start to use what they call the 5-second rule. And the 5-second rule, very simply, is where you basically say you're going to take the action you know you're supposed to take before you count down from 5. So you basically count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And before you get to 1 or 0, you basically just do the thing you know you're supposed to do. So that's all in the description now for you guys. And again, obviously it's in the chat. But guys, that's the 5-second rule. Now, the reason that's important is because, again, it goes back to the two things I've shared with you, smash and grab. It's the same principle. It's the exact same principle. You need to overcome fear. So how do you overcome fear? You use techniques. Smash and grab is a great technique. You're balancing these balls and you say to yourself, no, this has identified itself as the ball of value. I need to focus on this ball of value and pursue the ball of value as it pertains to your property investing, etc. So you pursue that ball and you make it happen with that ball. You go and close, you mature that deal. Then the moment that deal is matured through means of focus, you can then come back and pick up the other balls and any other new balls. And then again, if you want to start juggling again, you start juggling again. Now, let me not go into it. I alluded to leverage. I don't want to go into leverage because I'll be talking all night. Now, oh my gosh, KTR is on this. KTR asked for the day 17 book link. Day 17, this is the thing, KTR. All of the book links for the 21 days of your property investing success have the link impactproperties.co.uk / and then the day. So it's just book 17. So if you want the book, it's just book 17. So impactproperties.co.uk/book 17. If you want the audio, it will be impactproperties.co.uk/audio 17. Tonight's book, I'm going to talk about in a moment, but tonight's book is already in the description. All of that is already in the description. If you guys want me to throw today's book recommendation links in the description, I will do that. I guess KTR's already asked for that. So there you go. They're in the description now as well. All right. So we're going to come on to that book in a moment because that book is going to be of value to you guys too. But let's just finish up this point. So first things first, okay? Smash and grab is the technique. Just do it is the principle. On day 17 of your 21 days of property investing success, we're answering the question, how do you get deals over the line? And the way you get deals over the line is by just doing it, employing techniques such as smash and grab, which is basically a prioritization technique. Don't be juggling 3, 4, 5 deals and think, oh, how am I going to actually make money here? Listen, let me tell you something. It's harder to make money when there isn't any commitment. It's harder to make money when you haven't resolved on the specific deal that you're going to focus on to generate income from. So this is why we're showing you that sometimes you've got to smash and grab. Smash the other balls, let them drop those balls and grab the ball that's most important. Drop those deals and grab the great deal. Guys, let me tell you something. It's not a secret, but it's kind of something I don't share with people a lot. So maybe you might think of it as a secret, but now it's on YouTube. The whole world knows. The reality is this. The reason we've been able to be so successful is because we're really good at this principle we've learned of smash and grab. There's a lot of times we're looking at 4 or 5 different opportunities, and people will know, just like I said to the person who messaged me on the phone, there's times I just say no. There's times I'm like, no. And my no is really, it's not me saying never. It's not me saying, oh, I'm never going to look at that deal. It's me actually just dropping that ball because I'm focusing on something else. I'm focusing on a different property project, which is of more importance to me. I'll give you an example. Someone sent me a message today. Great message. Family. Great message. See, the problem now is if I open the message, I get more of the message they sent after, which I don't want to do because I want to make sure I read it. All right. So long story short, I'll just break it down to you. They sent me a message earlier, and hopefully you'll understand why I didn't want to open the message right now. But basically, I'm one of those people on WhatsApp. I don't have that whole fake I see messages, but it doesn't say I see messages, if that makes sense to you guys. Whenever I see a message in WhatsApp, it means I've seen it. So if you have 3 or 4 days or a week or 10 weeks of me not seeing a message, it's because I really didn't see the message. So I hope that makes sense. Now, basically, a contact of mine messaged me, and what she basically said is, Samuel, are you interested in a basement flat in Leighton, 3 or 4 minutes away from the station? I think I'm saying this right. I'm sure it was Leighton. And I just basically messaged them back and I said, listen, currently this year I'm looking at commercial buildings, so I'm not really interested, but send me the details, what the angle is on the property, because I'm sure I may know someone else who I can speak to about it. So the point I'm trying to make is, guys, that's me right now. That's me saying I'm not going to add that ball to the balls I'm juggling, but rather I'll leave that ball so I can focus on another ball. Now, we got Dion in the chat. Welcome to the stream, Dion. I don't know how long you've been with us. I was actually speaking about you earlier, so it's great to have you in the chat, just speaking about how you showed up the other day and gave us some real heartfelt truth, so we appreciate you. Dion says in the chat, love the book, read it a while ago and forgot about the rule. I'll need to listen again. How do we continuously remind self of this smash and grab /5 second rule? Great question. So I'm going to come on to that question in a moment. Guys, don't let me leave Dion's question, but we're going to do Q&A in a short while. But please, guys, if I forget, please remind me about Dion's questions. You guys have got to be quick with your fingers to make sure that happens. Let me just jump into the chat, see what else is happening. We have Ose Kimwin. He says, value, no fear. Appreciate that so much. KTR has just been on these links. Link for the audio. Thanks. Day 17 book link. I love it. So guys, you got all the links, I think, and the links are in the description. So if you haven't got the link, you can get the link out of the description. Now, guys, feels like it's been a value packed one tonight. It feels like it's been value packed. Anyway, what I want to share with you guys, before I forget, if you haven't hit that like button side by side with that. If you're getting value and you haven't subscribed, why don't you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification so you can be kept up to date with every single time we go live and every single time we drop a new video. Now, if you haven't gone and got this resource, I want to encourage you to go and get this resource. It's absolutely free. This is your 7 best books for your property investing success. Now, if you're with us on this 21-day journey, on the 21 days of your property investing success, to me, it only makes sense that you go and get all 7 of these books. And the way you can get them easily is by just grabbing this free resource. Okay, so I created this resource to help you guys understand and identify what are the 7 best books for your property investing success. And you can get them all by going to the link impactproperties.co.uk/book list. Now, because I don't want to waste any more time tonight, we've shared the principle, we've shared the value. Guys, what are your questions? What are your questions about maturing property deals? What are your questions about maturing property deals? And specifically, if you want to focus specifically on what we've been speaking about, what are your questions about the smash and grab principle and also the 5-second rule? So I guess to get us started, to give you guys a little bit of a head start on writing your questions, I'll go for Dion's question first, and then anyone else's questions we'll do after, before we wrap up tonight's live show. Guys, let me know if you've been getting value on tonight's show. Let me know if you've been getting value, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow as well. We're going to be back again. Tomorrow is Monday, so we won't be doing our 8 p.m. stream. We may be doing a lunchtime stream, probably 12 or 1 tomorrow, and then again on Tuesday we'll do another midday stream, and then Wednesday we'll come back at the evening again. Guys, listen, before we know it, it's gonna be done. Before we know it, the 21 days are gonna be over. I'm looking forward to working with some of you in a different capacity next week Thursday. Okay, I just checked the calendar. Next week Thursday marks the end of our 21 days of your property investing success. So guys, hope you're ready, because next week Thursday you guys will be at the end. You would have graduated from the 21 days of your property investing success, and I hope you graduate with honors. And you know what that means. That means cha-ching. All right, so Dion asks, how do we continuously remind self of the smash and grab / 5-second rule? All right, and I think that's an amazing question. So Dion, again, thank you. Always coming with some great questions and great insights as well. I really do appreciate you when you jump into the stream. Now, this is what I'd say to you, Dion, and this is just kind of like, I don't want to make it sound oversimplified, because, well, it's simple. I guess I've got to just be transparent. Like, the answer to this question is fairly simple. The question is, will we do it? And the way that we continuously remind ourselves of these principles is by practicing them. That's really the key. Like, and this is why on day 7 we spoke so heavily about commitment, because when you're committed to something, you do those things. You don't just wait for when someone else tells you to do it. Or again, it goes back to what I shared with you guys on day 2. I said on day 2, metacognition, thinking about your thinking. I said the entrepreneurs that use metacognition are more effective than other entrepreneurs, because they don't need to wait for someone to tell them to pivot their business. They don't need to wait for someone to tell them to change or stuff like that. They're already laterally thinking about it. Now, it doesn't mean that all the things they do are because of how intelligent or insightful they are about themselves. No, it goes back to basically something I alluded to yesterday. Real successful entrepreneurs have a team around them. And because they have a team around them, what's basically happening for them is their team are participating in their evolution. Their team are participating in their development. Their team are participating in their growth. Their team are actually helping them to achieve so much of what they're achieving. So for me, the real way that we consistently remind ourselves of how to prioritize, of how to use the smash and grab principle, of how to use the 5-second rule, is by practicing it. Like, you see, this is the great thing. I've got a few educators in the stream from what I can see. So let me say it like this, because I think this is for my educators, this is quite important. So let me say it like that. If you're an educator, you understand the importance of prioritization, okay? Because as an educator, you have to understand that you can't teach everything. Like, you're going into a lesson, okay? You're going to teach some students how to do something. Let's say I'm going to teach some students how to find lease option opportunities, for example. Okay, so I got a group of people. I'm about to teach them a lesson. I'm about to show them how to find lease option opportunities. So that's the lesson. Now, I've been doing this for X amount of years. I can't teach them everything I've learned for X amount of years. So what becomes wisdom, again, hashtag day 16 yesterday, where we spoke about wisdom quite in depth. What becomes wisdom is for me to share with them the most powerful principles that have been of value to me. So it's the same as this. It's like I said, look, I want to help people start 2021 properly. I know so many people who got beat up by 2020. I want people to start 2021 on the right frame of mind. I want them to have the right mentality. I want them to have their hearts in the right place, and I want them to succeed this year. So how can I help them? Well, if I said to you guys, yeah, I'm going to come and speak to you for 21 days about any 21 things, like, guys, that you would have still got value because of the way I would have presented that. But the reality is, I know I have to give you guys the best. I have to actually give you guys stuff I've used and that works, stuff I've seen and that works, stuff I've been taught, stuff I teach. I shared with you guys from day 8 all the way to basically day 19, presumptuously day 21. I'm going to be sharing with you guys from the framework of my actual online program. So what that means is, if at any time from day 8 to day 21, really is from day 1, but if at any time throughout this process you feel like, you know what, I need more of this, the easiest way to get more of this is to actually just jump on our online program. Now, our online program retails for 2K, 1,997. Sometimes when we do a masterclass, we give a discount of like £500. It becomes 1,497. The point is, being on that online program, you're putting yourself in an environment where not just you, but you are now being also held accountable by a coach in order to go through the same principles I'm sharing in these 21 days of your property investing success. Now, we are doing 21 days back to back, okay? But what we're actually sharing are the same core 7 principles in my 7 module program. So some of you will realize that. Some of you will be like, you know what? I'm getting so much value understanding about how Samuel positions marketing. So because of that, I actually want to jump on his online program and find out more about marketing. Now, I said it from day 1. This ain't about selling anybody anything. I don't want to, I'm not doing this for people to jump on the program, but I'm just giving you a clue that if you are engaging with this and it's like, oh, I'm getting value from this and this makes sense, then the next step for you to get more value on these same principles is on our online program, because that's where we do a deeper dive into each of these things. So if I want to really practice this stuff, the way I practice it is if I want to really remind myself of this stuff and keep regurgitating it in my mind, the way I do that is by practicing it. I'll give you an example. It's a nasty example. I don't really want to use this as an example, but I will. It's important. I learned this years ago from a pastor. I believe the pastor was named John Bevere. He's a very well-known, famous pastor. And he said this principle once. He said, if you think about a cow, he said a cow, I think he said, has a very small stomach. And he says what a cow does is it chews grass, it swallows the grass, and then, again, like I said, it's nasty. So if you're not interested in nasty stuff, you should probably close your ears at this point. But they vomit the grass back up into their mouth again and start to chew it again. So basically what he was teaching, he was teaching people who want to get a deeper understanding of the Bible. He was saying it's not just about reading it and putting it down. It's about reading it, swallowing it, digesting it, and bringing it back up, reviewing it again, reading it, swallowing it, digesting it, bringing it back up, reviewing it again. And he was basically breaking down at that time, this was years ago I heard this, but he was saying that a cow does that around 8 times before the actual food is really consumed. So I'm saying that to say to Dion, it's like, how do we continuously remind ourselves? Well, that continuous reminder is the process that I'm saying John Bevere was talking about, is what the cow does. They continually remind themselves by continually regurgitating it. And the best way to continuously regurgitate it is if you're in a community with other people, whether it's a coach, whether it's a broker, whether it's any other person in your power team, or just people you've put around yourself. It might be a network of friends. It might just be a little group, a WhatsApp group, Facebook group, Telegram group, Signal group, all of these names now. But the point is, if you put yourself in an ecosystem where each and every person is helping each other regurgitate concepts and ideas, that's when you're in the best environment to continually remind yourself. And this is part of the reason why we do stuff like the live show. This is part of the reason why every Saturday at 6 p.m. We show up to speak to you guys about property, what's happening in the industry, the news, etc. This is why I record videos on property concepts like stamp duty, like we spoke about yesterday, which you guys can go and watch. Like, are there really deals in London, which you guys can go and watch. What comes first, property deals or investors, which you guys can go and watch. This is why I run masterclasses every single Monday, 8 p.m. because I want people to understand that there are environments available. This is why I was doing my networking event for so many years. I want people to understand there are environments available where people will help you and hold you accountable on your property goals if you allow them to. The problem is most people don't allow them to. And the principle I shared tonight, which should help you change that, is just do it. You know, it's that simple. Just do it. Just take the step. Just say, I will commit, and do it. Okay, so if it's 4 or 5 deals you're looking at, I will commit to this one deal and just do it. Close the deal. Take the deal from an idea to a testimonial. You know, take the deal from where it was to where you want it to be. All right, guys. So any more questions in the chat? Let me see if there are any more questions in the chat. If you guys are getting value, hit that like button. If you've hit the like button already, don't hit it again because you don't want to unlike the video. But if you've hit the like button already and you're getting even more value, feel free to press the share button and share it with somebody. Dion, that was the answer to your question. I see your comment which says value. Let us know in the chat how many stars you give for the answer to your question. 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars, 2 stars, 1 star. Or I believe before I got 7 stars, 100 stars. I've got quite a few stars before. So let me see the star rating you give to the answer. Now, KTR, I hope you're happy with all the links in the description. I really hate spamming our chat with links, but you asked for it, so we gave it. All right, guys. And Dion, I see your comment. Accountability counts. I totally agree. Accountability is massive. This is why we started coaching people, because I learned, I guess I'd say it simply, I learned from my wife holding me accountable how powerful accountability is. So yeah. All right, guys, let me see if there's any questions in the chat. We had a few people 2 days ago say they were going to bring their questions yesterday. I didn't get too many questions yesterday. I was quite surprised. Maybe I'm such a great teacher that I'm answering the questions as I go along. Thanks for the kind words earlier. I appreciate the show and the content. 10-star answer. Thank you, Dion. We appreciate you and all that you do. So guys, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button. Side by side with that, if you have not hit like, I don't know what you're waiting for. And if you haven't hit that bell and told that bell needs to give you all the notifications, you need to do that too, so you can be rocking with us and so you stay up to date with every single time we drop a video. Now guys, this is my last call for questions tonight. It is late. We've been on the stream for a while. I didn't think I was going to do 2 hours tonight, but boy, when you love giving value and people love taking it, it's just a match made in heaven. So guys, let me know if there's any other questions, any other questions going once, any other questions going twice, any other questions going 3 times. With that being said, guys, I'm going to say to you, why don't you go and register for our upcoming masterclass on Monday coming? Monday, you are going to see me break down 3 secrets that you need in order for you to take advantage in this current climate and win. And all you have to do is go to the link right here, which is impactproperties.co.uk/masterclass. I'll say that again. That's impactproperties.co.uk/masterclass. And one more time for the people that love taking notes, impactproperties.co.uk/masterclass. You can jump onto the masterclass, take all of the value, and move forward in your property investing journey. Now, if you have registered for that masterclass already, why don't you go and check out our channel and watch another video where we are adding immense value to the community and helping you guys go further, faster on your property investing journey. Now, guys, let me see the last comments about how much value you've got on tonight's show. And with all of that being said, I'm going to love you and leave you and see you tomorrow, probably at lunchtime. And as I usually say, happy investing.